Solo leveling has become a cultural phenomenon, capturing fans around the world with its thrilling story and, of course, the unstoppable Sung Jinwoo. As one of the most overpowered protagonists in anime and manhwa history, Jinwoo wins nearly every fight, sometimes with ease. But beneath that power fantasy lies a brutal, unforgiving world. It's easy to forget just how terrifying solo leveling's world truly is. The monsters Jinwoo faced weren't just strong, they were nightmare fuel. Many were powerful enough to wipe out 90% of hunters, and terrifying enough to crush any hope left in their victims. In this video, we're counting down the 10 scariest monsters in solo leveling, the ones that made even the strongest hunters tremble. At number 10, we have the poison-toothed giant desert centipedes. These nightmarish creatures appeared when Jinwoo was thrown into the penalty zone, a scorching, endless desert where survival meant running for 4 straight hours. No weapons, no backup, no buffs, just him and a swarm of towering, venomous centipedes on his tail. What makes them so terrifying isn't just their grotesque appearance, but the psychological horror of being completely isolated in a barren wasteland. With no idea how strong they truly are and no way to fight back, they forced Jinwoo into pure survival mode. It was one of the few times we saw him truly vulnerable, and that's what earns these desert monsters a spot on this list. At number 9, we have the Ice Bears from the Red Gate. When Jinwoo joined a strike team led by Kim Chul, they thought they were clearing a standard dungeon, until they were trapped in a deadly red gate. Inside, they faced towering ice bears, massive, brutal creatures with overwhelming strength. While Jinwoo could handle them, the rest of the team stood no chance. These weren't just wild animals, they were pack hunters. One was deadly enough, but when they attacked together, it became a massacre waiting to happen. What made them truly terrifying was the sheer hopelessness they brought. In a frozen, unfamiliar world with no way out and no reinforcements coming, the ice bears were more than monsters. They were the promise of death. At number 8, we have the Ice Elves of the Red Gate. If raw power is frightening, intelligence in a monster is even worse. The Ice Elves weren't just deadly, they were cold, calculated, and cruel. Trapped within the Red Gate, Kim Chul and his strike team learned this the hard way when the Ice Elves systematically hunted them down. These creatures didn't just kill, they enjoyed it. They were stealthy, strategic, and sadistic, toying with their victims before delivering the final blow. Their ability to work together and plan their attacks made them a completely different kind of threat. Leading them was Baruka, a cold-blooded warrior who proved to be one of the most dangerous enemies Jinwoo had faced up to that point. The Ice Elves reminded us that sometimes the scariest monsters aren't the biggest, but the smartest. At number 7, we have the terrifying Green Orcs and High Orcs. Monstrous in both strength and instinct, these creatures nearly wiped out a team led by an A-rank hunter, Sun Ki-hoon. What made them so terrifying wasn't just their brute power, but their terrifying senses. They could smell prey from miles away, and even detect how many people were in a group just by scent. The High Orcs were even worse. One of them shattered Ki-hoon's shield like it was glass. And their leader, Kargalgan, a powerful battle mage who commanded them with deadly precision. Without Sung Jinwoo stepping in, that entire raid team would have been slaughtered. These monsters were relentless, organized, and brutal, proving once again that in the world of solo leveling, danger lurks in every shadow. Coming in at number 6, we have number 5, we slither into the shadows with the terrifying Nagas, part serpent, part humanoid, and all nightmare. These creatures made their debut in an A-rank dungeon much later in the story, by which time Sung Jinwoo was nearing the peak of his power. But don't let that timing fool you. The Nagas were no joke. With incredible agility, vicious strength, and a cold, calculating presence, they were more than enough to give even elite hunters a run for their lives. Woo Jinchul himself admitted that facing these monsters alone would have been a death sentence for most. And while Jinwoo dispatched them with terrifying ease, their true horror lies in how little recognition they received. Coming in at number 4 are the imposing statues, some of the very first monsters that Sung Jinwoo and his team faced in the mysterious double dungeon. These silent giants operated under strict rules tied to the colossal statue of God, a massive and awe-inspiring construct that stood as the architect's masterpiece. Their immense size alone was intimidating, but combined with their devastating power, they became a nightmare for anyone caught in their path. What made them truly terrifying was how ruthless they were against Jinwoo's team, mostly made up of low-ranked, barely prepared hunters. The overwhelming force of the statues left the team nearly helpless, reminding everyone just how brutal and unforgiving this world really is. At number 3, we have the fearsome Archliches, S-rank monsters known for their deadly mastery over the undead. These terrifying beings are infamous for wiping out the legendary Chinese guild Gold Dragon and causing catastrophic dungeon breaks. Their power lies in raising endless waves of undead soldiers, making them nearly impossible to defeat by conventional means. When the Knights Guild faced the Archlich, they were on the brink of total annihilation. It seemed like there was no hope, until Beru, Jinwoo's unstoppable Ant King shadow, arrived just in time to turn the tide. Without Beru's intervention, the Knights Guild would have been wiped out completely, overwhelmed by the Archlich's relentless forces. At number 2, we have the colossal supergiant, a towering giant whose sheer size alone strikes terror into anyone with megalophobia. This massive beast was the harbinger of a dungeon break that shook the entire Tokyo area. Standing tall and menacing at the dungeon's entrance, the supergiant was a nightmare come to life. What made it even more terrifying was its raw power. It was strong enough to shatter Yuri Orlov's barrier, which was rumored to be the strongest defense among all hunters. And the other giants? Just as fearsome, capable of taking down even the most elite S-rank hunters with ease. And finally, at number 1, we have Kamish, the crown jewel of Jinwoo's shadow army and the first S-rank gate dungeon boss. This dragon was so powerful and terrifying, it laid waste to the entire west coast of the United States, wiping out a massive number of S-rank hunters. Only 5 survived the brutal encounter. Even after being resurrected as a shadow, Kamish remained a fearsome force to be reckoned with, proving just how deadly this beast truly was. If you enjoyed this countdown and want more deep dives into your favorite anime and manhwa, make sure to hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest content.